And I wonder who loving you. You already know who's popping. You already know what's rocking. What's up, though? What it do? What up, though? What it do? It's Nitty, baby. D-City, straight gritty, no pity. You already know we get it. TBoy, man. Doing a little more than reminiscing. TBoy done popped the doggone, he done popped the cork. He done popped the top. Cause he drinking that scotch. And he feeling mighty good right now. Cause he can't stop running his chops. Let's get it, man. Nitty, D-City, straight gritty, no pity.
That dog's smart as hell. And like she's over with two other dogs now. They go in and out of the pool all day. They eat religiously twice a day, once in the morning and once in the night. It's all fun and games.
Fair use, YouTube, fair use. What all that fair use do. Criticism, conversation, documentary, all that, man. You know what I'm saying? We having big fun on this. So allow us to use your fair use. Let's get it.
Sleeps with our hands by the other dogs. So good for the dog. I say good for her. It's so much easier not having to do with me. I'm telling you, as I've gotten older, my emotions are like worn down to nothing. And she's real protective of him too, especially inside his truck. I don't have to leave the truck running, and he doesn't. Such bullshit they make you go through to get the thing I just told you to cram it up their ass. They can keep it. Isn't that crazy how you have those dreams, Luke? That's weird, isn't it? How much were you charging last night?
I want y'all to pay attention. Cause TBoy gonna let y'all know once again, like every other time, he didn't give a damn about these women's dying, these women's passing on. These women's life was their own fault. He had nothing to do with it. Just like he ain't taking no claims, no blames, no type of connection with Maddie Boo Boo. He said Maddie Boo Boo did this all by herself. He says genetics. It ain't nothing to do with the $10 Tommy show. It ain't nothing to do with the TBoy production. It ain't nothing to do with his enablers. It ain't nothing to do with him telling people to go over there and support her ass. said he'd do it all again if he had to, man. He didn't care about none of these women's dying.
Oh, okay. I think that's probably why you were dreaming of Lacey had these deep-seated frustrations. And Lacey symbolized a good time like you had 45 years ago. You wanted to be part of it even if it was in a dream and it fulfilled that obligation. Even though you had to keep picking on something. That's really crazy. What sparked it? Oh, okay. All right. I got my kayak with me. See in the side view mirror? Wherever I go, my kayak's with me.
It ain't like you're gonna use it.
Yeah, she died a few weeks ago. I got my kayak with me. See in the side view mirror? Wherever I go, my kayak's with me. Yeah, she died a few weeks ago. Actually, they tried to keep it secret for that weirdo because they know what you do.
The crazy thing about TBoy calling spectacular crazy. I'm not trying to say he ain't, he is. All I'm trying to tell you this, you just as weird. You just as weird, dog. Why you sitting up here acting like you ain't weird? Why you acting like you didn't have a crush? We didn't see that you had a crush on Becky. Why you acting like we was blind, that we ain't see all the things, all the creepy ass things you did, like stalk them little girls in the Amish land. You know what I'm saying? That's why the state popos had to come check your ass, because you was stalking them little girls in the Amish land. Why you acting like we ain't see nothing you did, man? When you gave Becky over $1,000, fool.
Yeah, that's old news now. They made sure that he found out through the grapevine. He basically stalked the family and gave them the creeps. That's old news too, the Lacey stuff. Oh, I don't doubt that. He'll do anything he can. Guy's a weirdo. Looks like he lost his job. Hey, I see a deer having a baby right now from the top of the exit. I'm not kidding you. Back there, the deer. Yeah, he's a weirdo, man, for sure. I'm pretty sure he lost his job. I'm not 100% confident on that, but I think he did. Probably freaking girls out. Hey, Frisky. You know, Renee was another one. I mean, it sounds bad, but I mean, I just thought in my heart of hearts. And she didn't really, you know, at least some of the people give you the impression that if they had the right opportunity and support, they would get out. But a lot of them don't. It's just like, I mean, they don't even show an interest in like the bare minimum, which, you know, I understand. And Renee, I put her in the class of Raven. She had basically, her family was ostracized, had kids and a couple marriages, and just, mother was a sweetheart, is a sweetheart, but lives with this old school guy that, you know, didn't want Wendy or Renee around because of what she did for a living. You know, you can imagine what the dynamics were in that household. And now, you know, and with a lot of these people, you know, there's a crisis constantly. It's always there at the emergency room. You're the next of kin. I mean, even though you're not an active addict yourself, these are your kids. You're still doing stuff for them, whether it's taking an Uber down to the emergency room, let them stay there 2 days until social services finds a place to live. You know, they wreck your life too. And in a weird way, although I'm sure the mother would rather have her around, she's not going to be burdened by this constant disaster. Hi, Don. So I feel bad for the whole situation, but that's all you can do. And I don't let it bother me that much, to tell you the truth. You know, for the same reasons I'd give Daisy to Marty and don't have a girlfriend, don't want one. It's the same thing I think that just, I was able to, and in a weird way, although I'm sure the mother would rather have her around, she's not going to be burdened by this constant disaster. Hi, Don. So I feel bad for the whole situation, but that's all you can do. And I don't let it bother me that much, to tell you the truth. You know, for the same reasons I'd give Daisy to Marty and don't have a girlfriend, don't want one. It's the same thing I think that just, I was able to keep going, doing that, despite a lot of death. I mean, believe me, if I could change it, I could, but of course that's not going to happen. And I felt bad, but not to the extent where it really bothered me much. I'm like that with everything. No, I'm still on the road, Don. Yeah, I mean, it's despite a lot of death. I mean, believe me, if I could change it, I could, but of course that's not going to happen. And I felt bad, but not to the extent where it really bothered me much. I'm like that with everything. No, I'm still on the road, Don. Yeah, I mean, it's self-defeating behavior. People have different facets of that. You can get attracted to guys that are no good for you, that wild ass, beating housewives, it's just the dynamics to relationships. And money doesn't solve it. Look at Hollywood. Look at these murder shows. Secrets Uncovered, Dateline. I mean, it's just, I think that you're born with this package of genes, and there's a lot of things that can influence that. It's like a big perfect storm. You can be attractive and go to good schools and get good jobs and have great kids and have great retirements and just have a great life up until the day you die. It just works out that way for somebody. Why? It's like having talent as an athlete. Everybody else is working as hard or harder than you. They've had every damn tutor and coach and personal trainer you can get. And they're nowhere near the level of an athlete that you are. Nothing's going to change that. There are people on the fringe, and I'm not saying, give up easy. But basically, I think this whole thing's spelled out. Whether you're Tom Brady or whether you're Renee and overdosing from too much heroin. When you get in the shit box that deep, it's so hard to come out of it. You just disappointed everybody. Who knows what diseases you have, and I think they get to a point where they passively die. I mean, look at people that smoke. Look at alcoholics. Drug addicts do the same thing. You probably never get any of them to admit it, but I'll bet you money. Maddie, if she gets up in the morning, that's great. If she doesn't, that's great too. Take for an example, if Maddie wanted to turn around today, how monumental that would be. If you had just 10% of that wherewithal, you'd have never been an addict in the first place. You'd had discipline and goals and all that kind of stuff. So for someone that age and that circumstance, with all that baggage behind her, it's basically over. Good morning. Minus an exception. I mean, Gerald is going to wake up one day and want to work on his PhD. And what you see is what you get. This is the way it is. Well, I think it can start in your home. But there's plenty of examples where it didn't. Hasn't. There were plenty of these Hollywood actors and actresses that have overdosed that had great upbringings, went to good schools, and then got later involved in these Hollywood parties and that kind of thing. I think it's purely, like I say this about everything, it's purely genetics, mainly genetics. And bad genetics manifest themselves in bad choices. It's not that bad choices. Genetics are strong, whether you like black guys.
And you're purely a dummy. Purely a dummy. Because let me let you know this, dummy. In the 80s, when crack first hit the scene, we had professional people that lived in our neighborhood, fool. We had doctors, we had lawyers, we had business owners, we had everything that any other suburban neighborhood would have. We had it in our own community in Detroit, in the suburban areas of Detroit. It was all black, man, black owned, black gas stations, black pharmacies, black everything. And when crack hit, all the middle class, well-off people that was in the hood with kids, that was spoiled, that felt like they didn't have to, I don't know, felt like they didn't have to work as hard or they can make as many mistakes as they want to, dog. Because we're talking about people that sent their kids to Harvard. You know, we're talking about lawyers. We're talking about doctors. We're talking about judges. Kids was judges. When crack hit, man, it changed the whole game. And everybody that had money was on drugs, man. It wasn't the people that didn't have money. It was the people that did have money, fool. Then it trickled down to everybody that was broke. But the beginning, it was everybody that had money, fool. And all they rich, spoiled kids.
Because you're like Puerto Ricans, you like tall, dark, and handsome, or you like to get high because everyday life sucks. Wrong, whether you like black guys, or you like Puerto Ricans, you like tall, dark, and handsome, or you like to get high because everyday life sucks. Yeah, that happens sometimes too. But if you look at the recidivism rate on rehab and stuff, it's very high. Why? It's not like you're getting over lung cancer or breast cancer and you do well for the rest of your life. There's this, combination of your behavior and what you enjoy. And example, everything else is boring. A nice husband, nice kids, nice home, and a nice job are never going to be as fun as that big high you got. And you know that. And it just tails you to your grave. People do it, but I think it was all in the cards to begin with. There's people that are going to be born, do really well, do really bad, and do really well again. But if you look at the numbers across the board, I think those people had it in them to rise above that genetically. It isn't all this bullshit they give you about do it for your kids. In case you haven't noticed, that doesn't work very well. Do it for your mother. You fucked all these people already during this addiction. Do it for yourself. Well, that's probably last on the list. So at the end of the day, you're doing it because of how it feels, and fuck everybody it affects. It really sucks, man. I'm telling you, man. These people, I didn't know that much about that before I started doing that. And like that one lady I talked to, she said it's the monkey on your back, the devil. I tell people that all the time. People ask me, it's like, well, what you learned through doing those? What I learned is how much worse it is than I thought. And how it is, it's not just a choice they make, but I'm going to ruin my life like this. That it's a combination of factors. A lot of common themes that came up were girls and bad boyfriends. And the boyfriend's a druggie too. And, he's not going to go out and suck dicks. There's not that much of a market for that anyway. And when they do, you'll never find out about it. That's one big giant secret down there that's kind of left untouched. You'll see these guys swirling out of a car sometime where a guy was in it and tell you they were just getting a ride. And there's still like this faux code of ethics where the women, it's all out there, right? But
I mean, man, we at 2023? Yeah, it's a code of ethics, but at the same time, man, time done went on. I'm still having a thought or two about Bobblehead's husband and them fishnet pantyhose that I see his ass in. And I just want to pull it. I just want to pull them panties tightly in between that stinky, funky, hairy ass, and see if you're gonna squirrel. See if you're gonna worm. See if you're gonna move around like a female, dog. I really do. I think you'll be more sexy at it than your woman. I think you'd be more sexy at it than your woman. See if you gonna squirm and worm when I pour them panties in between your damn stanky, hairy ass, dog.
They fall in love with these guys. I thought it was like Prision or something. Prision. It's a word like that, where you do things for other people. I couldn't find it later, but that was spelled some way like that, and I was going to read more about it later. And it's kind of like prostitutes, topless dancers, strippers, escorts. They're doing this shit for the male in their life. I see it all the time. And I've seen girls that got into that lifestyle at the beginning with a guy that they were involved with before that lifestyle. And one day, all of a sudden, you cross that barrier and the male in your life is not happy about it, but he's willing to accept what you need to do to fulfill their drug debt. Guess how powerful that drug debt is. You'll let your wife or girlfriend go out there and walk up and down a dark alley and get in cars with strangers and just cross your fingers and hope she comes back. And mainly because if she doesn't, you're really going to be painted into a corner. You have no source of income. And that's where you get the smash and grabs and the carjackings and the robberies that don't make sense because you're desperate. And before you know it, you're just walking into a gas station waiting for you. Anybody that has a business in a place where there's high drug addiction, like Detroit, Philadelphia, any of those places, these guys got every single trick in the book on planning on being robbed. Nobody's surprised. They're looking forward to it. Whether it's extra cameras, shotgun holes underneath the plexiglass, they're waiting to get robbed. She's a drug addict, and that's why. The ID is a real issue with people like Maddie. You can't talk about somebody being in drugs that deep and criticize how responsible they are. I mean, that went out the window years ago. They live for the minute. And if they've got a girlfriend that overdoses from fentanyl, they'll try and find the guy that sold her to her. Just take a little less, hoping it'll be a really good high. They'll chase down the guy that sold the fentanyl. I've seen it happen. Yeah, they do. Steal your stuff. That's right. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, no, which is why they just don't care about anything. If you remember the interview I did with Katie, who I think has gotten sober, she said she didn't like sex, in her personal life. And that she didn't want any responsibility. She didn't want to have to pay bills once a month, pay rent. She just wanted to support her drug habit and just be in la la land. It sucks, man. It really does. It's a terrible way to live. And then, sometimes just and what really sucks is that it doesn't take long to be down there and realize that once they become less marketable, that's when shit really goes south. Maddie's in that position right now. She's just not very attractive anymore because of drug use. So you can scratch the guys going to work in the morning. And now you've got a girl that's kind of in the position of the guy that she supported. No real way to make an income. So the only thing left with a lot of these active drug addicts is you got to run the rehab scheme because you know that you've already tricked out everything there's left. You've taken the new clothes and thrown them in the trash. You've traded the food cards for a third of what the dollar value is. And you've just done everything you can to keep your dope bill paid. And, that starts to run out. You do desperate things. And generally the way it works is you go to people like you guys who would give little stipends and little gifts and cash and food and stuff, trying to help them. And you cry the blues about wanting to get into a rehab. And then you go there and you spend an hour or something in there, and that gets the clock ticking again for donations. Sharon's a perfect example of that. I mean, in a weird, twisted way, I gave Maddie credit for not pulling that card until it got to where there was no money left or any other source. And she had to start to.
Well, let's get back to Becky. Let's get back to Becky. when Becky pulled that tent hook up. Remember when Becky needed a tent on Michigan Avenue behind a doggone auto shop that you were sponsoring food? Remember when Becky asked for a trailer and you was the main one trying to get donations for that bitch? Let's get back to Becky. Talking about not being so attractive. What the fuck do that got to do with it? Because was Becky truly attractive? The thickest thing on Becky's body was her damn neck. Yeah. The thickest thing on Becky body was her neck. And I wonder why, man. Yeah. She didn't have no teeth. No. She didn't have no teeth. She didn't have no teeth when she was AKA Amy. AKA Amy when she did that interview in the past. No. Same look, thicker neck. So what's up with that? It ain't like she was attractive. She could have been a tranny. She could have been a tranny, man. You know what I'm saying? She could have been a man posing as a woman. But yet and still, you thought Becky was sexy. You thought Becky was appealing because you gave Becky $1,000 and all the attention that she could want, man.
Going to rehab, and if you're a decent person, you go to people like you guys who would give little stipends and little gifts and cash and food and stuff, trying to help them, and you cry the blues about wanting to get into a rehab, and then you go there and you spend an hour or something there, and that gets the clock ticking again for donations. Sharon's a perfect example of that. I mean, in a weird, twisted way, I gave Maddie credit for not pulling that card until it got to where there was no money left or any other source. And she had to start doing it, going to rehab. And if you're a decent person, you want the best for people. You think, oh, what the hell? I'd like to see her go to rehab. If you're a good person, you want the best. You have a little extra money and you'd like to see it go towards saving someone's complete life. And that's when you really get it broke off in your ass. Just when you think you're helping the most, you realize a couple months into it that all that money went to dope. Oh, was it terminated? Yeah, I hope so. I think they terminated Craig Case channel too. About time. YouTube will give me a strike because I uploaded some videos about science that I had an interest in, claiming I was promoting misinformation. And then they'll allow channels like that to basically stalk and harass anybody as much as they want to. I've heard about that vision thing. I mean, I don't really know too much about that. I just don't know, I mean, I guess she hasn't been around that much. I mean, it's so damn sad. I mean, believe me, I was along for the ride too. I actually thought, I never really thought I was going down there to save anybody, even though I knew nothing. I didn't think that. And if you look at my early interviews, it was just like, oh, I'm going to go down there. No holes barred and find out, what's what are they on, how you got there, why you didn't leave. Look at the early Marguerite video. And then I kind of changed. It's like, maybe I shouldn't be asking them this stuff. And then I kind of morphed into, bringing up things and that kind of thing. Yeah, I just know it's a shit, sucky life. Sure is. I spoke to Marguerite's daughter yesterday, and she said she was ordering something. She called me back, and I didn't hear from her. And I left a message later, so I know she had a husband who was too cool with her talking to people that were in that Marguerite triangle, So I don't know. Maybe she just, I don't know why she didn't call back. Yeah, does anybody have any information on that? Did that SV, did that channel get canceled? I sure hope it did. And his Craig channel's canceled. I sure hope that got canceled too. That would be good news. Love is a Drug by Roxy Music. Love is a drug. I don't know why somebody pulled around one of these cameras. Love is a drug. Oh, that's awesome. That is such great news. Bye-bye, loser. There's a real dirtbag there. Somebody sent me a link to Kelly's video the other day. There's another slime ball you want to avoid. You not? Oh, that's awesome. That is such great news. Bye-bye, loser. There's a real dirtbag there. Somebody sent me a link to Kelly's video the other day. There's another slime ball you want to avoid. You know, I have sympathy for people in active addiction. I do, because I know what it does. But, you know, there are personalities out there unrelated to drug addiction where they're just rotten, nasty people. And Kelly's one of them. She's trying to get money now for her granddaughter who's pregnant. What a surprise, huh? Is it?
Hey, was it a surprise, TBoy, when you were stalking Sarah 4 to 5 years before you even got close to doing an interview with their ass? Was it a surprise when you was making videos of these women walking across the street from you, putting music behind it? You fucking creep. You weirdo. You were scared to approach these women. It took that moment for you to swoop in like a vulture and get all these women to fall for your ignorance. $10 damn to tell you all your business and everybody else's. Man, you got them women killed, and you know you did.
You want to avoid them. You know, I have sympathy for people in active addiction. I do, because I know what it does. But, you know, there are personalities out there unrelated to drug addiction where they're just rotten, nasty people. And Kelly's one of them. She's trying to get money now for her granddaughter who's pregnant. What a surprise, huh? Is that if Kelly really was sincere about helping her granddaughter, she'd go out to the Grand Canyon and jump off the South Rim. Just the notion that she's even communicating with this poor innocent girl is enough to make you cringe. Everything that I said was going to happen about these channels is happening. They're all going walkie bye-bye. Even Bobble's channel's been mothballed. Exactly how I said it was going to end up. Oh, real quickly, they'll block that one too when they find out about it. That could be a phony too, because I know that YouTube will block by, I guess it's still just email and channel name, where Facebook blocks by MAC address, which is much better. She won't be around long either. All you gotta do is hit the report button and tell them that it's her, and they'll know if it is or not, and they'll get on them too. Because when they terminate channels, they do not want you back. Yeah, I mean, the dog videos are fine. She won't be around long either. All you gotta do is hit the report button and tell them that it's her, and they'll know if it is or not, and they'll get on them too. Because when they terminate channels, they do not want you back. Yeah, I mean, the dog videos are fine. I'm talking about what was going on before the dog had finally caught up to her.
You talking about Bobble's faking like she was trying to commit suicide. That's what she's talking about. That bullshit that she put on YouTube, dog, just to get the bullies to stop picking with her.
Was that right? Yeah, she deserves to be gone. She really does. This one real dirtbag. No, I'll admit when I've like got my ass fleeced, and it has happened, and I'm sure it's going to happen in the future. But for a long time, honestly, I hung my hat on Maddie was a different kind of drug addict. It really had nothing to do with the way she looked. Maddie just was straight up, yeah, she's a drug addict. Remember on the early interviews, she wasn't going to go to rehab. It wasn't for her, didn't like it. Okay, yeah, you're doing that. Here's a handshake.
Yeah. It didn't have nothing to do with how she looked. But you the main one promoting the fact that she was blind and had blue eyes, dog. Stop playing with yourself.
And remember on the early interviews, she wasn't going to go to rehab. It wasn't for her, didn't like it. Okay, yeah, you're doing that. Here's a ham sandwich. Okay, I hope you change your mind someday. Back then, I thought that this was more of a possibility than I realized later it was not. But anyway, Maddie wasn't scamming people like that. She was telling you what she did, and when you sent money, you knew what it was going for. As a matter of fact, her and Gerald even made videos of that. It's like, look, you guys know what the score is. And it was about that time that I took all the links off my videos to their channels, because it's like, okay, you guys are right. These guys aren't getting any better. And there's an argument that they're getting more money than they would have from me putting links.
Man, now you see how he tried to detach himself? He tried to detach himself from the fact that Maddie Boo Boo and Becky was his main two thoroughbreds, the main two women's that he did the most interviews with, dog. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know this that kept up with the storyline. Why is he trying to sit up here and twist it and throw his own wrench in the bitch? No, man, you ain't that smart. You know what I'm saying? You can come up with every damn word that you can read, but you ain't that smart, man. You still a damn nerd. You still a damn cornball.
Okay, I hope you change your mind someday. Back then, I thought that this was more of a possibility than I realized later it was not. But anyway, Maddie wasn't scamming people like that. She was telling you what she did, and when you sent money, you knew what it was going for. As a matter of fact, her and Gerald even made videos of that. It's like, look, you guys know what the score is. And it was about that time that I took all the links off my videos to their channels, because it's like, okay, you guys are right. These guys aren't getting any better. And there's an argument that they're getting more money than they would have from me putting links, and I don't want to be a part of it, so I didn't. Maybe I should have done it sooner. Maybe I shouldn't have done it at all. But I do agree with you that it wasn't a good idea, and I did what I could, and I took him down. But they weren't, Sharon was like, Sharon targeted like older males. There was a guy out in California, actually, who was a nice guy that had a wife that was invalid. And I've learned, and you guys know this, there's a certain personality that wants to save people. There are certain older men. The only way they're going to get to rub elbows with women that they see as attractive, some guys like these trashy women, is...
Yeah, they like the trashy woman because they easy, fool. What the fuck you think a man like a trashy woman for? They easy. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing to get in their pants. It ain't nothing to make them do the things that you want them to do, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole attraction to the bitch. But the main thing is this. No, she couldn't pull a young person to save her life, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's why she was committing crimes with her last boyfriend from the past, because she's an ugly ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? If she was something that was cherished, or something that somebody thought was fine, like a dime, they wouldn't put her in no harm's way. They'd be making her do other things. She wouldn't be breaking in people's houses and stealing from stealing from Kroger's and different shit like that. You know what I'm saying? She'd be doing other things, dog. But the fact is, though, she gotta run the old men's, and you threw that to her as well. You threw her to old men's because you the main one that kept on telling everybody with Becky about the meet and greet. Yeah, Marty want to meet all y'all. Marty and Kelly want to meet y'all. They thinking it'd be cool if they hang with y'all for a night or two. You know, we should set up the meet and greet. If anybody remember them days, yeah, you the main one with promoting that, man.
Because it's like, okay, you guys are right. These guys aren't getting any better. And there's an argument that they're getting more money than they would have from me putting links, and I don't want to be a part of it, so I didn't. Maybe I should have done it sooner. Maybe I shouldn't have done it at all. But I do agree with you that it wasn't a good idea, and I did what I could, and I took him down. But they weren't, Sharon was like, Sharon targeted like older males. There was a guy out in California, actually, who was a nice guy that had a wife that was invalid. And I've learned, and you guys know this, there's a certain personality that wants to save people. There are certain older men. The only way they're going to get to rub elbows with women that they see as attractive, some guys like these trashy women, is to meet one that's got a drug addiction because she's looking for money wherever she can get it. And for whatever reason, and I don't know that this is even accurate, this old guy had some money and he wanted to save Sharon. It's like the worst possible storm there is. I mean, they're buying stars for $25 and naming them after them and getting their cell phone restored, and they string them out for a year or two. And then these guys just have a blind way of looking at it that, yeah, no, I'm getting fucked. Everybody's telling them, hey, this girl's using you. But this guy likes these older looking, slim Hispanic people. And he's hoping that someday they'll have a future and he can save them. And you do it, you turn a blind eye. So before you know it, $10 went to 100, 100 went to 1,000. And then they come on one day with big black eyes. Like, how'd you get that? Oh, I hit a doorknob. What do you find out there? They're a drug dealer they were sleeping with, tell you off dead, crack them in the eye because they were late. You know, it's just one big bad thing.
Oh man, ain't gotta be no drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? It could be your ass. It could be the perv. Because every time Sloppy Second Shaky Shady came back from Chicago with the perv, she came back with a couple knots on her head, dog. Everybody recognized that shit. She even said it her damn self. I don't know what was doing when I passed out. All I know, I woke up with an extra knot or two, dog. How many knots you want, bitch?
Bring them on for a year or two. And then these guys just have a blind way of looking at it that, yeah, I know I'm getting fucked. Everybody's telling them, hey, this girl's using you. But this guy likes these older looking, slim Hispanic people. And he's hoping that someday they'll have a future and he can save them. And you do it, you turn a blind eye. So before you know it, $10 went to 100, 100 went to 1,000. And then they come on one day with big black eyes. Like, how'd you get that? Oh, I hit a doorknob. What do you find out there? They're a drug dealer they were sleeping with to play off dead, crack them in the eye because they were late. You know, it's just one big bad thing. And you can tell these older men that going into it. And it's just like pissing in the wind. It goes in one ear and out the other. Tony was kind of like that.
Yeah, you was worse though. The creepiest old man I ever seen was an old man that set up a young woman that he knew was blue back from Xanax and plenty of packs of blows, and had a chair and had people staring at that chair while you was hyping the situation up that she would tell more than what she did on the first interview, man. When she came to that bitch blew back, talking about, I ain't even know I was gonna do an interview. And you already had $1,000 already sent to you through your super chat, fool. Yeah, that was the creepiest old man shit I ever seen. Yeah. You remember that, TBoy? The one that you just so happened disappeared and we ain't never see again. But we remember them days. We remember how you took advantage of that young lady, man, and how you bragged on it the next morning.
And he's hoping that someday they'll have a future and he can save them. And you do it, you turn a blind eye. So before you know it, $10 went to 100, 100 went to 1,000. And then they come on one day with big black eyes. Like, how'd you get that? Oh, I hit a doorknob. What do you find out there? They're a drug dealer they were sleeping with to play off dead, crack them in the eye because they were late. You know, it's just one big bad thing. And you can tell these older men that going into it. And it's just like pissing in the wind. It goes in one ear and out the other. Tony was kind of like that. Who, by the way, showed up dead shortly after Renee moved in.
Once again, want to talk about Renee, man. Rest in peace, Renee. Want to talk about Renee, a.k.a. Wendy. But talk about Becky when she left that corpse in her ride, huh? Talk about Becky when she left that corpse in her ride for 4 to 5 damn days and took his damn money out of his pockets, man. Yeah. Talk about that move Becky did when she dipset on that food and left that man stiff and stinking right in her own damn car, man, for 4 to 5 days. Talk about that, dog. Your Becky, your apple or your eye, the one you gave $1,000 to.
cracked them in the eye because they were like, you know, it's just one big bad thing. And you can tell these older men that going into it. And it's just like pissing them away. It goes in one ear and out the other. Tony was kind of like that. Who, by the way, showed up dead shortly after Renee moved in. So it's just another way of scamming people. To me, I thought that was different. Well, Maddie eventually caught up and was getting money any way she could. But at least at the time, you know, she was just, you know, being straight up about, here's my problem. Do you send money? You don't. That's different than getting 30 older men coming on YouTube live telling them your life's in danger and they get you a Holiday Inn room. And then they'll always send you money to get a Holiday Inn room. They make up a story so they can get the money, not the reservation. So then what happens is you get in a Holiday Inn room and you do a video. Hey, I'm here, I'm safe. Look, I love this room, thank you. And you don't realize that there's 30 guys that sent you $100 for the room. People don't realize that every 30 guy that got, one of the 30 guys that got duped, he thinks she's talking to him. And
Damn. Sloppy. Huh? Sloppy. T-Boy just let everybody know that you've been running this whole game, this whole damn time, ho. And everybody motherfucker already knew because he said it before. But it's nice to hear it again. You running a scam, bitch? Now everybody can hear it for themselves.
they get you a Holiday Inn room. And then they'll always send you money to get a Holiday Inn room. They make up a story so they can get the money, not the reservation. So then what happens is you get in a Holiday Inn room and you do a video. Hey, I'm here, I'm safe. Look, I love this room, thank you. And you don't realize that there's 30 guys that sent you $100 for the room. People don't realize that every 30 guy that got, one of the 30 guys that got duped, he thinks she's talking to him. And I had a problem with that. And it was probably biased because I don't like her. So there's a lot of things she could do that I have a problem with, because you know how it is. I got a nephew that just got kicked out of this McDonald's for sexual harassment. He's a fucking jack off, terrible dad, worst father. It's a fucking embarrassment. And
hey, before you get into it, his nephew, was that the reason why the Purge kicked Sloppy Second Shaky Shady out of the Momo the first time they went, dog? Y'all remember that? The first time they went after Mama Kelly set it up. You know what I'm saying? After Mama Kelly pimped the whole situation. Y'all remember she got put out the doggone she got the Purge left at the Momo and she had to catch a dog on Uber back to the crib, dog. yeah. Was that the reason? Because he found out she was playing more than just him? Come on now, let's get it, dog.
he's claiming that he wasn't doing this at this McDonald's. But I know that they didn't like him. It's been about 6 years, and they were just looking for a chance to keep this guy out of that store. And when a girl complained that she got decreased, they said, we don't want you in there anymore. And once that happens, you're kind of fucked. But it'd be pretty embarrassing to live in a town where you're now broke, and you're not even allowed to take your kids to McDonald's because you've been banned for sexual harassment. Jamie? You talking about Jamie? Or Janet?
No, we're gonna talk about Jamie Sky High. That's the one I told y'all that was so creepy, man, that he had to take the video down. You know what I'm saying? Because it was that creepy, dog. I mean, he had it set up for every man to jack off. That's all it was, man. He had it set up for every man to beat off that day, dog. Because he set it up, man, as though she was gonna tell it all. Like if she was really just gonna be nasty and foul with it. And this child was blew back, man. She didn't know what was popping off.
And you're not even allowed to take your kids to McDonald's because you've been banned for sexual harassment. Jamie? You talking about Jamie? Or Janet?
Jamie Sky High.
Yeah, I'll do a bunch of shorts. I think it'll be perfect for this kind of thing. You know, shorts are up and down, and it's true, you can't demonetize it. I don't monetize my videos now. But the shorts automatically monetize themselves. It's fucking chump change, man. I couldn't even buy a bag of chips. But what I like about them is you just hit the button and it does everything. You don't need to like type in a title or anything. And they're only like 45 seconds or whatever it is. So on a deal like this, it's perfect because the dog's jumping. It's taking like 20 seconds and you're done. Now, the bad news is you can't pick the thumbnail. That's why if you look at a lot of, and I can't really figure out where the thumbnail picture is chosen from. I've tried like leaving the camera still at the beginning, leaving it still in the middle, and at the end. I can't tell. So sometimes I'll have what I think is like a cute little video of a bird, and all it is like a bare patch of sand on the beach. It's just somehow that's the image that's chosen on a 45-second video. Janice back. Janice out there still working. Still walking up and down Michigan Avenue. Somebody posted the other day they went to high school with her and talked about what a nice person she was in the good old days. And I think she's back with a boyfriend. I'm not 100% on that. 45-second video. Hey, Janice back. Janice out there still working. Still walking up and down Michigan Avenue. Somebody posted the other day they went to high school with her and talked about what a nice person she was in the good old days. And I think she's back with a boyfriend. I'm not 100% on that. Dog Olympics. Well, this has made my day today. This is really good news that Sharon's channel got terminated, and so did Debbie's. And my channel included. I mean, like I've said all along, I'd rather have a lot of subscribers and a lot of views and a lot of interaction, have fun with people than not. But I'm not jumping through any hoops for it. And I think that once your channel gets tagged to like what they used to promote, you're fucked. Still working. Still walking up and down Michigan Avenue. Somebody posted the other day they went to high school with her and talked about what a nice person she was in the good old days. And I think she's back with a boyfriend. I'm not 100% on that. Dog Olympics. Well, this has made my day today. This is really good news that Sharon's channel got terminated, and so did Debbie's. And my channel included. I mean, like I've said all along, I'd rather have a lot of subscribers and a lot of views and a lot of interaction, have fun with people than not. But I'm not jumping through any hoops for it. And I think that once your channel gets tagged to like what they used to promote, you're fucked. I've been slowly getting people unsubscribed. They'll send me emails. They didn't do it themselves. And YouTube never admits to it. If you complain to them about it, they'll say that sometimes people have a change in interest. It's like, hey, idiots. These are people emailing me that got unsubscribed. They didn't want to be unsubscribed. They'll never admit that that's happening. And that's the frustrating part. And that's why they can keep their 100,000 plus plaque. So, I mean, and like I said, I know some really good channels that they're not getting any views. And I know why. It's because they found better people to promote. These are really good channels. That really kick ass, man. But luckily for me, I knew it was a manipulated market to begin with. I'm thankful for getting down and meeting a bunch of people. Because it never happened again in a million years. People ask me, it's like, you're like, don't ask me, man. Believe me, this is like musical chairs. This was no talent on my part or promoting or being a creator or any of this shit. Just hit the fucking record button and upload them. They decided to promote about 10 of them. Here I am. That's exactly what happened. And now, you know, the seasons have changed and they think differently. So I could put up anything now and nobody's going to know about it because they're not recommending it. So that's all right. I still got a place to upload it, which I wouldn't have without YouTube. So what are you going to do? Yeah, but when you're terminated, you're not going to find the channel. It's not there. Maddie's channel's still around. It's just there's no videos of her. That's different. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Yeah, well, good luck to her either way, but I mean, it's just like, you know, that doesn't mean anything. Good luck to her. I mean, it sucks, man. I mean, but, you know, it's like everything, you know, it's like the court system, whatever. Show me some evidence. Not what you want to happen or you'd like to see happen or you wish that happens. Just show me some evidence of getting better. There isn't any. It really sucks.
Appreciate y'all rocking with me, kicking with me, fading with me, coming on this journey. You know what I'm saying? Doing what we do, man.
People emailed me and they asked me about that. I knew she died about 3 weeks ago. And I was just kind of waiting to see what this stupid secular unit was going to break the news because they purposely kept it from knowing. Yeah, there's a couple people that emailed me and they asked me about that Renee died. weeks ago. And I was just kind of waiting to see when this stupid secular human was going to break the news because they purposely kept him from knowing. Yeah, Wendy. Well, a lot of her videos, she cries all the time. You can look it up, Wendy Renee, R-E-N-E. You'll find, put it in the search box. You remember, pretty lady. She's a really cute woman. I watched her one night and I was talking to Becky. That was her on the ground that overdosed at the ambulance came and brought two of the people back with Narcan. I didn't know it at the time. I found out later that the one girl on the ground was Renee.
Well, if you ask Spectacular what was the sweetest and best thing about her, I'm sure one thing he gonna say was them toes, man. Yeah. Spectacular loved them feet. Yeah, he had no problem telling everybody, man, that he had a foot fetish. And Renee was definitely fulfilling that fantasy for him, baby.
And for some weird reason, I've had this happen to me. Angel was one, Renee was one. They will admit to doing everything. You know, being an actor, prostitute, they'll say they do meth and crack and all this shit. But for some reason, some of them don't want to admit using heroin. It's so weird. Renee was like that. And Angel was like that too.
No, for real, because it ain't cool, fool. It ain't cool. That shit stank. It's nasty. It's a needle. You know what I'm saying? It carry AIDS. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, ain't nobody finna admit that they around here shooting up like a bitch unless you up in that clique. You know what I'm saying? That's how slow you is though. But you so intelligent.
I've had this happen to me. Angel was one, Renee was one. They will admit to doing everything. You know, being an actor, prostitute, they'll say they do meth and crack and all this shit. But for some reason, some of them don't want to admit using heroin. It's so weird. Renee was like that. And Angel was like that too. Claimed she just smoked marijuana, which was not true. She also claimed that she was a hypochondriac and a clean freak and washed her hands 25 times a day. But she didn't say she was HIV positive, what she knew about.
Yeah, you had to tell everybody what you feel as though was your business though, right? That wasn't your business to tell, dog, even if it was true or not. You know what I'm saying? They need to sue your ass. Her family need to sue your ass because you continue to run your mouth and tell everybody that this woman had HIV when you got no damn proof of it, bitch, other than somebody leaking something back to you. Man, go on with your slow ass. You should have known something. She had her whole damn leg wrapped up, so you should have known something off rip instead of sitting up there. And it's a young woman looking like Aunt your mama, and all this damn thrift store clothes, Salvation Army type clothes. You should have known something was up. You know what I'm saying? Because she wasn't ugly. She didn't have a messed up body. She just wasn't doing nothing with herself. So if you that damn slow, it took you that long to catch on, but you so damn intelligent though, right? Man, all you is a bookworm. You don't know nothing about this. You don't know nothing about the street life. That's why you got your butt ran out the D, and you know not to bring your butt back, right? All right. Ain't that right, TBoy? You know better than bring your butt back, right? All right. You better keep it moving. Take your snapshots and keep it moving, fool.
She also claimed that she was a hypochondriac and a clean freak and washed her hands 25 times a day. But she didn't say she was HIV positive, what she knew about. So, I mean, if you're one of these older males that's trying to support Sharon, you better strap in because your life's about ready to get ruined. You're not saving anybody. It's all between your ears. The only way this woman's going to have any kind of physical relationship with you is if the cash keeps flowing.
Sloppy second, shaky, shady. Yeah, TBoy letting it all be known. You's a trifling ass bitch, and we already knew this. Snitch.
It's all between your ears. this woman's going to have any kind of physical relationship with you is if the cash keeps flowing. And these women, like Sharon, are absolute experts in taking old, lonely old men with money and making them think it's real. I'm serious. It's like a legitimate talent. It really is. They'll take smart guys and just, manipulate them like you can't believe it. Especially a lot of the conduit for these older guys and these women is meeting them as topless dancers or strippers. And if you end up doing the math after a couple years, if you were pitching about a $40 lap dance, yeah, that'll turn into being about a $4,000 lap dance, no problem. And you calculate the total amount at the end of the relationship. These guys buy houses and stuff with these women. Go over a room once or twice a month. It's worth it to them. They feel like they're really happy. Remember when Lee Iacocca got scammed by that Peggy? Mel Gibson got scammed by that Russian pianist. Male egos, man. If it's worked right, you can just crumble them like David Goliath. Their own giant egos, let's sing some.
No, it ain't just a male ego. It's the fact that we all think with the same head. You could try to act like you're intelligent more than someone else, but along with the fact that you got the same needs and the same wants as every other man, you ain't no different, dog. And that's what every man do. They think with one head, dog, and it ain't the top one. So that's where the women like Sloppy Second, Shaky, Shady, and so many other females that loves to ride shotgun. Yeah, that loves to ride shotgun and keep their mouth open, dog. Yeah, you heard me. Love to ride shotgun and keep their mouth open. That's what men are attracted to. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine every time you have a moment and want to pick up a cigarette, you got somebody blowing on your nuts? That's what Sloppy Second, Shaky, Shady for, man. What y'all thought they picked up these women for? You could quit smoking cigarettes, man. You can put yourself in rehab from that shit.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, manipulating people. But I don't buy into that train 100% either. If you and I are adults and you agree to something that we talk about, how is that manipulating? I asked you, and you did it. I've been accused of being a manipulator before. It's like, what the hell?
That's some bullshit, because that's fair exchange, no robbery, all day. Money exchange, you know what I'm saying? Then, business gonna be exchanged as well. That's fair exchange, no robbery, all day, dog.
Could somebody explain the difference between agreeing to something, not under the influence of drugs, and being manipulated? Does that just make people that have regrets about things say things? What is this? You get in arguments like an old girlfriend's like being manipulated me. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I didn't really want to do that. What'd you do it for then? I asked you and you consented to do it. I remember asking Ebony that in an early interview. She said, well, is this going to be manipulated? It's like, well, you're agreeing to it, so you can still be manipulated. It's like, well, don't do it then. What the fuck? I guess you could say it's like, well, he manipulated me into marrying it. Yeah, okay. He proposed and you said I do. You don't have where I'm going with this? This seems like sour grapes, man. It's nomenclature changes. Before and after, it's the same behavior. It's just described differently. Yeah, shit. Manipulate this bullshit. I've had women for a long time. There's a couple of them right now I can name off right now. They think I manipulated them. Fuck. Let's say I like them, they like me, and it's 40 years ago. We went up and fucked for 2 days in West Branch. Is that manipulating? I'll say, you manipulated me too, you allowed me to do it. What the hell? Gotta figure this out, man. Jeff, help me with this.
TBoy say, I feel used. I feel used. I feel taken advantage of. Everybody have a great day, man. Blessed day, man. Real talk. Thank y'all for coming through, holding me down, doing what y'all do. But I'm out. Deuces, baby. Nitty, D City, straight gritty, no pity. Thank y'all for holding me down. I see you, beautiful flower. Yup. And I appreciate you holding me down in this morning, this afternoon. Thank you. And we out of here though. Let me get back to my daddy duties, baby. Yeah. Appreciate y'all. Real talk. Have a beautiful day, y'all.
Oh, man. I never remember how to get to this place. Frankenmuth. Dog bowl, yeah. Dog bowl, yeah. $3.32 a gallon, it's not bad. Germans and Polacks. But they're dying off. The young kids buying together. You can, you know. So you know how I do all this bullshit. I'm always doing something different. You know, getting out, going somewhere, you know, doing something. That works for me. You know, I like doing different things. You know, it's not like the most exciting I've ever had in my life, but it's stuff that interests me, right? This is the same way drug addicts work, only with its drugs. Just like I do. They're up fooling around this bullshit like I do with cameras at night. First thing in the morning, you're wondering what you're going to go do. Or same thing, only you got a physical addiction and a mental addiction, and you don't work. And that's a lot of pressure. I'm telling you, it's a shit life. We're all raised to think that sex means something, and two schools of thought. You can bind together, you can, you know, have loving sex, or you can just like sex because it feels good. But people like it for a number of reasons, right? And when you got to do sex for money, all that disappears. And these kind of girls, like, I don't know how much you get into those people. They, that's not just normal sex. It's just like weird shit, abuse, getting smacked around and stuff like that. Because they know that even if they call their cops, nobody's going to pay attention. Look at the girls that got hit by cars and overdose and all this stuff. Look at the investigations they did on them. The minute they find out, not just Detroit, either Flint, Saginaw, the minute they find out it was drugs and they were maybe prostitutes or in that lifestyle, that basically.
Yeah, I'm still worried. I'm still thinking about when Casey got hit by that car. And all of a sudden, he was scared to see your van, dog. Remember that? Casey and Jana? And Casey was stalking Jana, and you was doing an interview with Jana, and next thing you know, he seen your van and took the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? As though if his leg wasn't even broken, dog. Yeah, I'm still wondering about that hit and run. You know what I'm saying? How did that go? After he accused you of stealing their money, after they got a viral video within just 2 weeks, dog. Yeah, a viral video was just in 2 weeks, and they accused you of stealing their money because all you gave them was $10 damn. Yeah, how did that go again?
He goes in don't spend any time on this file. Their lives are not considered worthy. They slam that file door shut and think, good, this will be less work for us to do now, chasing her around. That's what it's reduced down to. The human element. These people aren't getting employee of the month. They're not rising through the ranks of a company. They're not good athletes. They're just treated like garbage. I bet they didn't spend 5 minutes looking to see who hit Raven.
I know you was happy about that, TBoy, that they ain't spend more than 5 minutes looking investigating anything about Raven, because everybody said it was a possibility you had something to do with that as well. You know what I'm saying? Because you the one went back and try to retrace. Yeah, you the one went back and try to retrace what happened to her, as though if you was a detective. Yeah. So you was fucking with evidence. Yeah, you was fucking and tampering with evidence before they can even investigate. Let's keep it real, TBoy. We was there as well.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. It's just that one guy does the homeless people, invisible people. It's kind of true. But there's a way more apparent significant interest in prostitutes than there are homeless. You take a girl and she's a prostitute too, you don't mention that. And you talk about her being homeless. Yeah, you're going to get people that's interesting to them. But when you take that same girl and do that same interview and you plug prostitution into it, it just opens up like a whole other avenue of interest. It's weird. I'm going to be taking a New Mexico trip here pretty soon. Go to the Indian reservations up around through Nebraska. And I find it interesting. But if you guys got any ideas on that, questions you'd like to have answered?
Man, warning, warning, warning. Warning, alert, alert. TBoy going to West Virginia. Everybody motherfucker put their motherfucking alert on, dog. You know, TBoy coming through your set. You better know what's popping off, man.
But nobody gives a shit about them either, Native Americans. I could take 10 thumbnails, 10 interviews on Native Americans. People see it's an Indian and I don't even click on it. Why? It's the way they were raised. They think they're just a bunch of drunken, tomahawk throwing Birchwood good makers that got a bunch of land for nothing and just collect big checks from casinos, which is absolutely false. But this is your school's fault. For all this stuff they're pushing now, and this transgender and all this stuff, and transsexual and all that, hey, good for you. I don't have a problem with it. But when's the last time you saw a good, positive commercial for Native Americans? Learn their heritage, go to a powwow, find out what's really going on. You know, in Michigan, they blame the Native Americans for the sport fishing decline. Even though they have their own conservation department, biologists, scientists, they do a lot of good. The Native Americans are not the reason for the decline in sport fishing, but that's who they blame. It's the sport fishing. Look in the paper, read the articles throughout here, catching these guys from here and there, 100 illegal perch, a bunch of undersized bass. You see that with Native Americans? No. I'm not saying never, but in general. Yeah, fuck it. They look, Raven's dead. Like you go to law enforcement, Raven's died. She was an actor prostitute. Everybody knew her down around there. They're sure of this. They have a hard time connecting next to kin. And what are you going to do? What are you going to go down there? Even as a parent, they're looking like you have something to do with this. It's like, this is my daughter. I'd like to know how you make it out in the investigation. Don't return your call. It's just nuts. It's not nuts, though. It's a reality. You need to accept it. Now, how about a white girl from Rose Point, high school beauty queen, going to University of Michigan on a scholarship? They will be all over that shit. Big time. There's going to be some terminations and some transfers if it isn't solved. That's a real hot potato. Worst thing can happen to a law enforcement person is have a very famous person get killed on your watch. That could cost you your career. You'll end up charging people that didn't even do it. I think I go right here. I'm not sure. Adult nuts. What's going on today in the blue? Easy, jump. Jump, Frederick, you're back. It's like Daisy is not wanting to jump for Mr. Reed right now. I'll whisper into Daisy's ear, jump or you will not eat for the next week. That's a nice sound. And if you like this kind of bullshit, and I really don't like this kind of stuff. I mean, I like the dog thing, but all these little like shops and like, rev them up, yeah, rev them up.